Hey Mancavians, this is Bob for DaBob's Z-Scale Mancave, and today we're reviewing Kato's brand new Union Pacific 1943, the Spirit of the Union Pacific. This locomotive is the 16th commemorative locomotive that Union Pacific has painted in honor of something. This one happens to be in honor of all the armed forces, men and women that are out there in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard. And this also represents this long-standing tradition that the Union Pacific has had with hiring veterans to work for the railroad. And so, hope you enjoy this locomotive, and let's go see what it's all about. Okay, what we have here is that Union Pacific 1943 SD70AH actually, but not SD70ACe. And the difference between those two is that, there's a few noticeable differences, and one of which is these vents back here at the end are actually shorter than on an ACE. Also, some of the compartments are a little bit different sized, barely noticeable really, but a little bit longer on this area of it than on an ACE. You can see that the colors match pretty much the prototype as much as possible. The only thing that I do notice that is different is that this green here is not a bright green like it is on the prototype, which is a good thing because this green actually looks more like a military subdued olive drab kind of a green. Even though it's not perfect, it's better than the prototype in representing a military camouflage kind of color. The prototype, as you can see in the picture, is really bright. I mean, no one would in their right mind want to be seen out in the woods wearing that bright green on and be, a target basically. But some reason somebody decided for that kind of color of green. The U.S. flag is looking really good. All the colors and designs match the prototype in placement and relatively great color. All the labeling is in the right places and looks accurate. Got a brake wheel right over here. The trucks look pretty good detail. Some things that are missing is there's no paint on the sight glasses over here, and there's another knob or port over here that's red. They're supposed to be red, and there's also a control panel that fits right in here that is not there. The handrails are stiff, but these handrails on these steps are supposed to be white, and they're not painted. Kato doesn't like to paint these. The horn itself looks gray up here to match this gray on here, but I think the prototype is actually black, and at least from my pictures that I took, it looks black to me. On the top, you can see that it has a nice PTC antenna array and the color matching all the way back. Looks like these separately applied radiator fan grills. Nice silver and black on both of these. Okay, as you can see on the front and the picture of the prototype, there are definitely some differences. One is the MU hoses are not black on this model. There is a yellow hose that goes across the front, and also a green port on that side. The handrails are white on the prototype, and they're not painted here, they're gray. There is windshield wipers molded into the top here. These grab irons here are molded into the cab body and not separately applied and giving you a 3D look. Number boards in the right spot. The ditch lights are going to be on with the headlights, so there's no flashing ditch lights. And one major thing that's missing is sunshades. There are no sunshades on the side of this locomotive. All in all, the labeling looks pretty accurate. This is slightly off when looking at in really high detail, but it still looks, like you know what it is, and that's the best thing about it. Of course, Kato couplers, I would probably replace those with some microtrains if you get a chance. Okay, on this side, one of the differences that you can tell from an SD70ACe and SD70AH is on an ACE, this grill right here does not exist. And also this back grill here is taller on an SD70ACe. Other than that, everything else looks the same. They have some raised walkways that are kind of knurled for safety, and everything else pretty much looks about the same. Of course, you don't have any sight glass coloring here. The trucks are just basically all gray. There could be some color that could have been put on there, but they never color their trucks, so they leave it up to you, the modeler. And I think the steps are also kind of painted on the prototype. All in all, I like the model. I'm happy with it until something comes out better. This is all I have to use. I did put DCC in it. That at least works. Okay, on the back side you can see that the POW-MIA flag is on the back at the top, and the MU hoses are black because they're separately applied, plugged in plastic ones. There's also a red hose that goes under here that's missing. Handrails, of course, are gray as well. These grab irons here are molded into the body, not separately applied. All these not separately applied things do reduce the cost of this model. All in all, it's not a bad model. On the bottom, you have a standard fuel tank and trucks. Okay, let's turn this headlight on. Sometimes you have to put the locomotive in motion before the headlight will actually come on with the Digitrax decoder, but I've got this moving and headlights come on. So okay, let's see what the motor control does. Go speed step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in reverse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it stops fast. So there you go, that's been my review of this locomotive, the UP 1943, and with every Kato locomotive there's some things that are not going to match the prototype, and this is no different. They did make some changes with some of the panels and the vents that are out there, the radiator grills and other vent grills. They did place them in the right place. They did redo the tooling on this model to incorporate what a SD70AH does have on it, because that's really what the model is modeled after, is an AH, not an ACE. So there is some differences. One thing I didn't like was the paint on the camouflage portion of it. It didn't match the prototype, but then again the prototype didn't even match real camouflage paint schemes either for the military. The green is just solid green and not a subdued olive drab kind of green that you would find on camouflage fatigues and BDUs and so forth. So with that, somebody got it wrong. Both of them got it wrong. Kato made it look a little bit more camouflage tone than the prototype, which I liked. It just seemed to reflect a little bit more of the military kind of feel to it. All in all, there was just a bunch of hoses missing, and handrails not painted. MU hoses not painted at all on the front. They always have this thing that they do on all their locomotives, and they just never put that extra detail in, and leaves it up to you, the modeler, to do with that if you would like to. So, all in all, this is a pretty good model. Retail that I got it was for $115. MSRP is $135 for DC, and it goes up from there if you get the pre-installed DCC decoder, and if you wait for Kobo sound from the Kobo shops to be installed, which is next month, that's going to be around the $300 range. So be prepared to put a little extra money in to getting one of these the way you want it to be configured. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to leave a comment, and as always, happy model railroading, and stay off those tracks. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Check out these videos over here. Also click on the links down below to follow me on social media, and leave a comment. Tell me what you liked. And as always, Mancavians, happy model railroading, and stay off those tracks. Bye.